Welcome to the Finesse and Failure YouTube channel. It is definitely an amazing feeling to be here as a YouTube content creator. I honestly didn't think that I would be creating YouTubes instead of my podcast, but I decided to do both. So in order to get into this video, which is all about how to pivot in business, the first thing y'all know we do together is we light a candle. This is just so that I can, one, smell something amazing whenever we're talking, and I love candles, and then two, just to bring a different perspective into the room. So the candle is lit. Today's drink is going to be this Jolly Rancher Green C4. I picked this up because I definitely need some caffeine. It's going to be my first day back at work today, and I just have so much on my plate right now, so we need a little bit extra boost of energy. It's good. It literally tastes just like a C4. I don't know how I want this yet. Maybe I feel like I'm too far up. Maybe that's what my problem is. Anyways, so today's topic is going to be how to pivot in business and when you should know when to pivot. Now, this is going to be a conversation that is one near and dear to my heart because let me tell y'all, my first year in business was so crazy. I decided that I wanted to go into business and be a business owner in 2017, 2018. And when I tell you that the years, preceding that, I would have never thought that I would have been an entrepreneur. Even though I did like a class project on what I wanted to be when I was older, and I chose to be an entrepreneur. So oddly enough, I kind of knew way back in like 6th and 7th grade that I didn't want to work for anybody, but I never made moves in order to do that on my own, which was crazy. But I am here to tell you guys today that I am a entrepreneur, unfortunately not full-time, but we're working toward that goal. And I'm going to tell you guys a quick story on how I should have known I needed to pivot in my own business. Way back in 2018, I decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, pay off my debt, put myself through school, and figure out a way that I could do this full-time. Now, back in 2018, I decided that I was also going to quit my full-time job. I was going to drop out of school and I was going to become a server. Now, y'all, I know all of these things sound crazy, right? And at the time, I just needed some type of change in my life. I was working day in and day out for pennies on the dollar. I was selling myself short with all of the potential I had, working for a company that didn't care. I was trying to move up in a company that didn't want me to move up, and my mental was shot. So obviously in 2018, I wasn't making the best decisions, but I honestly, looking back now, probably made the best decisions for myself that I possibly could have ever made, right? So in 2018, I quit my full-time job. I became a server full-time. I dropped out of school. I was going to school to be a sociologist. My minor was in communications because I love, love, love talking to you guys, and I love talking to people in general. But I decided to quit. I decided to quit school, quit my job, and I just needed something new, something fresh. So I became a server. Now in 2018, I also decided that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And fast forward a couple of months in, probably around like June or July, I met this guy and he became one of my regulars, and he was a contractor for some military, something. But he also was an entrepreneur himself, and he taught me the basics of drop shipping and Shopify. Right? Obviously, I had to do my own research, and back in 2018, YouTube was booming. So YouTube University was everything that I knew, right? And I didn't know anything about a mentor. I didn't know anything about failure. I didn't know anything about chargebacks. I didn't know anything about anything. And then I don't even know what hit me. I decided I'm going to open up my own business. Now, in 2018, I decided I was going to open up my first Shopify business. I did the whole free trial thing for, I think it was 14 days back then. And in 14 days, I had built my own store. I used Oberlo, if that tells y'all how old I am. I used Oberlo to load my products on my store, and I opened my store, and I was so excited. I was like, yes, this is what I'm going to do. And it was like a makeup store. I think it was called like Chics or something like that. And y'all, nobody visited my store. And that is when I learned my first huge marketing lesson. You have to market in order for people to buy your products. And even though that may seem so simple now, because I was a newbie and I was new at everything, I didn't know that's what I had to do. So I eventually closed the store maybe like a couple months in, and then I ended up opening up a new store where I sold rose teddy bears, and hopefully I can plug like a video or something in here of the rose teddy bear so y'all can see what I was selling. And I sold a good bit of those online. I posted them on my personal Facebook page, my personal Instagram page, and I got a lot of orders for Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, and then I got a lot of chargebacks. And that is when I learned my second lesson of dropshipping, which was chargebacks. Now, fast forward to 2020, COVID hits. Obviously, people are in a shambles. I am still a server at this time, transitioning into being a manager. So I had no income coming in because restaurants were closed down. No income means no money, means no bills being paid, which means I need to start using my credit cards in order to make myself float. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I decided I'm going to start another business. I decided that I was going to start a clothing business. And because it was becoming closer to summer, I was like, oh my gosh, why not create a swimwear line? I named the swimwear line Trapkini. I created all of my stuff on Canva, all of my stuff, all of my postcards, my business cards, everything for the business, right? I even had the products down. I ordered the samples. But if y'all remember, COVID is when everything shut down and you were not getting anything in 2 to 5 days. Amazon didn't even have 2 to 5 day shipping. I was ordering my stuff from China at the time, off of Alibaba, off of AliExpress, and like hoping that they came in. And I never opened the store. But a year later, I decided I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do it the right way. Things are starting to calm down with COVID, so I am able to maneuver and open up another business. But instead of me holding the clothes online or holding the clothes in my home, I decided that I was going to open up a boutique. I was going to sell clothing. I was going to sell lingerie, and that's what I did. And with that being said, it was a great experience. But here's what did happen. What did happen was I started a TikTok page for my clothing business. And the name of my clothing business was 25 Forever. Because I was in my 25 era. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I thought that this was going to be it for me. I was going to be a boutique owner and all of the things, right? Well, it didn't quite happen that way. So I started posting videos of how to become a business owner. I started posting videos of like a day in the life as a business owner on the boutique page. And yeah, I didn't know any better. So I ended up getting one of my videos to go viral. And when I say viral, the video got like 100,000 views in probably less than 24 hours, which is huge back in 2021. And never seen like so many comments. I had never seen so many likes and views ever on anything that I had ever done. So 100,000 views and climbing, right? So I went from like 10 followers to like 40K in maybe 3 or 4 days. And then I went from 40K to 70K in like a week. So I had so many different followers that were following me, but they were not following me for my clothing boutique. So instead of me pivoting and maneuvering to, well, maybe I should start talking more about business. Maybe I should talk more about my day in the life. I decided to start posting content about my business, which is not what the people were coming to my page for. People were coming to my page because I was posting videos about how to make your life as a business owner easier, how to find good packaging, how to find good suppliers, I was the how-to business girly. And I had garnished over 300,000 likes on all of my videos at the time within 3 months, which was crazy growth, right? But I was opening up my business on April 1st. And April 1st came, I did a TikTok live for the first day of my business launching. And to my surprise, I had maybe 2 or 3 sales. But unfortunately, those 2 or 3 sales were the only sales that I got for like a week. And I kept posting my content, kept getting great views, but I wasn't getting any engagement. I wasn't getting any likes. I just was getting views. Now, had I known then what I know now, I would have known that I wasn't getting any engagement, any sales, because I wasn't marketing to the right people. The people who found me because they found me of my how-to videos, my viral posts, and everything else, they found me because they were looking for a solution that I had for them. I knew how to find great packaging for cheap. I knew how to do something on Google that nobody else knew how to do. I was teaching them step by step how to do something. And that is why they were following me. They weren't following me because they wanted to purchase my cute shirts or my cute 2-piece sets. No, they were following me because I was the go-to girl for anything business oriented. And I didn't pivot into that. Now, had I did pivot, I probably would be in a completely different space than I am now, which maybe have been the best thing that happened to me because I needed to know what growth looked like. I needed to know what growth was and how to capture my audience and sell to my audience. So that leads me into this: how to pivot in your business. These are some clear signs you need to look for in your business in order to know when you need to pivot into either a different content strategy, a different target audience, or even a different product altogether. So if you guys are wondering what a pivot is, a pivot does not mean necessary failure. It does not mean that you need to stop everything, like cut everything out. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means that you need to focus on what is working, what is not, and if nothing is working, creating a completely different plan. Here are one of the ways you can recognize if you are needing to pivot in your business. The first one being you're seeing little to no growth. And that may mean looking at your vanity metrics like your likes, your engagement, your views. Let's just say that you own a online hair boutique and you're not seeing any views, you're not seeing any likes, you're not seeing any type of comments being left, and you're consistently posting on your channel or on your page. Well, what does it mean when you're seeing little to no growth? You've been consistent, you've been posting, you've done your necessary research, you've done the necessary analyzing, and you aren't getting anywhere. That is a clear sign that you need to pivot. That means you need to pivot either your content, what you're posting. You need to figure out whether your target audience is actually looking for the product that you're selling, or you need to figure out if the content that you're producing is just not great content. And we need to all be real with ourselves. Every piece of content that you throw out there is not going to be the world's greatest piece of content. That is something that you have to know and understand and move forward through. The next thing that we're going to talk about is, let's say that you are posting good or decent content, but it's not getting the interest of your target audience. What do? That is a clear sign that you need to pivot, because if it's not gaining the interest of your target audience, you need to reconstruct your content plan in order for your target audience to find your videos, in order to engage with your videos, in order for you to become the authoritarian in your industry. And then the last way you can recognize if you need to pivot in business is understanding that there has been a market shift. So let's just take online ways to make money as an example. There are 1,000 ways to make money online, but in the last year, the number one way people have been researching about how to make money online has been digital marketing. But let's say I continue to make videos on drop shipping and affiliate marketing and going live on TikTok and TikTok affiliate marketing. Do you think my videos would do as good or better than the videos about digital marketing? If I stayed in the digital marketing space, my videos would do significantly better, because that is what the majority of my target audience is looking for right now. They're not looking for how to make money in 2023. It's almost 2025. As your market may shift, may move, may go into different topics or categories, you also need to be in and evolving around those topics and categories, so that way you are never left in the dust. Now, here comes the hard part. When it comes down to pivoting, there's so many challenges that can stand in your way. You don't want to pivot too soon before you hit some of the necessary steps. Step number one is realizing and researching your new market. If you're pivoting from online businesses to how to get into tech, which was really big 2 years ago, if you're pivoting into that and you have no recollection, no understanding, you've done no research about how to get into tech, how are you as an authoritarian in this industry going to tell someone else how to get into tech? You're not. The next thing is ignoring feedback. The best companies always ask their customers or their consumers, what do you want to see? The best thing that I can tell you guys is when I enrolled into the DWA course, I was so nervous because $500 for me is a lot. I could put that toward one of my student loans and have half of one of them paid off. So I was kind of nervous about that. But I ended up loving it because the creators are always asking and looking for different people to talk to them about what they're wanting to see, what they're looking for in the course, in order for the course to be beneficial to them. You have to understand your customers' feedback as they have purchased something from you, or they're looking to purchase something from you and they want to be longtime customers. To get a long-time customer or a long-term customer, you want to make sure that you're consistently giving to them. You're consistently developing yourself and your business in order for your customer to be happy from start to finish, from one purchase to the next. The next thing that I want to make sure that you guys understand about pivoting or the challenges of pivoting is understanding your core identity. When you create your business, your core identity, your value, your mission statement should always stay true, even if you are pivoting into a different business. And here are some of the main reasons why. When you are pivoting into a different industry, it is a lot easier to lose yourself trying to become the industry expert when all you need to do is be yourself inside that industry. You don't need to become the Alex Hermosi. You need to become whoever you are in that industry and continue to give yourself to that industry. You want to make sure that you stay true to yourself, because the moment that you lose yourself in pivoting into this different industry is the moment that you're also going to lose your target audience and your customers, because there's already an Alex Hermosi and obviously he's killing it in his industry. You don't need to be the Alex Hermosi Jr. You need to be who you are, and you need to develop and continue to educate your consumers. So don't lose yourself trying to figure out how to get the quickest buck. You need to figure out how you can pivot into this different area of your industry or this different audience of your industry in order to stay true to yourself, but also make sales, because that's the overall goal. The next thing that kills people when it comes down to pivoting is they refuse to plan. I am a planner at heart. I literally plan for a living, not only at my 9 to 5, but every business that I own would not do well if I did not pivot and if I did not plan. In order to pivot, you must plan. It's literally P and P. Pivot and plan, or plan and pivot. And the reason you want to plan before your pivot is to know exactly what you're doing, so that way you have a outline, a guide of some sort in order for you to make the changes necessary. Here's one of the biggest things that I have used in order to create my plan and make my plan a reality. I know that people use this for content creation. Some people even use it as like an Excel file, which is crazy. But I use Notion as a full page guide. I've done this, so now this task moves over here. Well, I've done this, so now this task moves over here. And it keeps moving until you are done with whatever task that it is. You guys can use Notion whatever way you want. You can look up 1,000 templates on the Notion store, and most of them are free. Or you can go on Etsy or Creative Market and find yourself a Notion template that works best for you. If you guys have seen how I set up my office, there are 3 boards. There's one with my plans for the month. There's one that says my goals for the month, because my plans and my goals are completely different. And then there's a last one, which is a calendar that I write everything out on that I need to see. And then I go on my Notion template and I figure out how I'm going to reach my goals. I'm going to take my plans, I'm going to push them to how I reach my goals, and then that is my plan for the month on how I'm going to pivot into a certain area. I am currently pivoting my podcast into a YouTube channel about business, because I've already taken my podcast and put it on YouTube, but now I'm actually creating YouTube videos because I want to serve a wider audience. That is me pivot. One of the other challenges of pivoting is ineffective communication. Now, if you are a one-band, one-member show, it's obviously a lot easier to communicate. But if you have maybe 2 or 3 members inside of your business that you have to constantly communicate with, using Notion, again, is going to help out with a lot of those problems with communicating, because your thoughts are already in a program that is going to help you communicate your thoughts to your other team members. If you hire people that are like contract workers, if you hire a contract worker, they can always go in and look at your Notion template and see, oh, this is what we're going to be doing this month. Well, let me go ahead and fix this, and I can add these notes into there. It's a lot easier to communicate when you have a system that you use. You can also use Asana. You can use Google Workspace. Obviously, Google Workspace is built for businesses, while Notion is just built for organization and planning. But I think that I would continue to use Notion, as right now I am a one-member show, so I communicate a lot through my own brain with myself. And then one of the last ways that pivoting can be hard and we can have or come through a challenge is cash flow. Are you going to be investing in another course? Are you going to be offering another course? There are 1,000 things that your money is going to be shelling out to, and it is hard to keep up with a lot of those things. So cash flow is going to be one of the problems that people see regularly when it comes down to pivoting, but it doesn't and should not be the determining factor of if you're going to pivot. You can't afford to not pivot if you're not seeing results. You have to do something. I do want to end this video on a great note, and I just want to say we've all made bad decisions in the past. Sometimes I still catch myself making bad decisions now. Like, literally, I still make bad decisions. But understanding when to pivot and knowing when to pivot is gonna be vital whenever you're trying to keep any business that you open alive. You have to understand every season is not gonna call for the same thing. You don't wear a puffer winter jacket in the summer. It's built in us to pivot. It's built in us to change. You just have to be ready for whatever change comes at you. As always, with much love and much appreciation, thank you guys so much for watching yet another one of the Finesse and Failure channel videos. I hope to see you guys again very, very soon. And if you guys are looking for a video on the breakdown of DWA and frequently asked questions, watch this video. But overall, thank you guys for coming to the cookout. You know I love when y'all come to the Spades table. I'll see you guys again very soon. Bye.